Flood displaces over 50,000 across 17 local governments in Jigawa State. Police foil terrorist plot, uncover cache of IEDs in multiple locations in Niger. Small business owners in Lagos lament impact of surging inflation, low patronage on their businesses. And on the international scene, army strike kills 7 rebels in northern Mali. Very good evening and welcome to the news update on Trust. My name is Sakir Ibrahim. Good news that over 50,000 people have taken refuge in public schools and government buildings across Jigawa State following a devastating flood that affected 17 local government areas. The displaced are struggling with a severe shortage of basic necessities, with women and children falling ill. Trust TV's Northwest correspondent Idris Jibrin visited Buji local government, one of the hardest hit areas, and now reports.
This is Gansa in Buji local government area of Jigawa State, where flood waters have submerged more than half of the town. Court sessions have been suspended and the hospitals and markets are closed, leaving the community at a standstill. You can see that everything has stopped in this community. Behind me is the court, the hospital, and then the district head house. They are all covered in water. There is no way you can go in or come out of the water, because everywhere is blocked. Residents report that thousands of homes have been destroyed, leaving the town completely cut off from surrounding areas. With over 5,000 houses lost, access routes are now non-existent. We have lost so many houses around this community. Over 5,000 houses were collapsed, and so many people were injured here. And we don't have access roads to the rest of the town from this particular place where I'm standing. Farmers in Buji local government report that their entire farmlands have been wiped out by the floods. Tragically, 3 people have died and several others have been injured as buildings collapsed around them. As you can see, we have lost virtually everything we planted this year. Our farmlands have been washed away. Our farm produce is gone. In fact, at the moment, we don't have food to eat because I have lost everything from this flood. The Jigawa State Emergency Management Agency warns that the number of the affected individuals is likely to increase as the rain continues across the state.
Even the IDPs keep on increasing because of the continued rain. Before we assumed that it is only the dam that will give us this havoc. But unfortunately, it's not the dam now. It's just the heavy downfall that is affecting that is causing the flood.
Behind me is the local government secretariat of Buji in Jigawa State and the divisional police headquarters. Now, the access road has been blocked and residents are saying that an estimated 5,000 houses have been destroyed by the flood, and about 3,000 farmers have lost their entire harvest this year to flood. Now, residents are calling on both the state and federal government to come to their aid as they face imminent food shortage this year. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Jigawa.
Well, there you have it. Meanwhile, at least 49 people have been killed and thousands displaced in Nigeria after heavy rains caused flooding in the north of the country. According to the spokesperson of NEMA, Manzo Ezekiel, there's 3 states in the north, namely Jigawa, Adamawa and Taraba, have been hardest hit by the floods, with 41,344 people displaced. In 2022, Nigeria experienced its worst flood in more than a decade, which killed more than 600 people, displaced around 1.4 million, and destroyed 440,000 hectares of farmland. The floods have also destroyed farmlands, affecting around 693 hectares of agricultural land. Nigeria is battling double-digit inflation, which has been stoked by high food prices. Heavy rains have added to problems in the farming sector, where farmers are deserting their farms in the northeast due to repeated attacks by militants. The government in this year's flood outlook said 31 out of the country's 36 states were at risk of experiencing high flood. And the impact of high flooding has destroyed crops in the Argungu local government area and other regions in Kebbi and Niger states. The head of press and public affairs at the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, HYPADEC, Nura Wakili, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday while sympathizing with farmers who were affected by the environmental disaster. The commission said it viewed the unfortunate event as a significant setback to the nation's efforts in promoting sustainability and ensuring food security. The statement said the commission's managing director, Abubakar Yelwa, expressed deep concern over the impact of the floods on the livelihoods of the affected communities. He also commended the federal government for its swift action in allocating 3 billion naira to support the victims of the disaster. NISA warned of additional flooding due to upstream activities in Niger and Mali. To security matters now, the Niger State Police Command says it has uncovered a large cache of explosive devices, including bombs and improvised explosive devices buried in multiple locations across the state. Although an investigation is going on to unravel the sources of the explosive devices, they are suspected to have been concealed by terrorists and bandits who have been wreaking havoc in several local governments in the state. Some of the local governments where the devices were uncovered include Galadima Kogo in Chiroro local government area, Mutundaya in Munya local government, and Begamu area in Mina. The command's spokesman, Wasiu Abiodun, who released a statement on the development on Tuesday, said the findings were the handiwork of counterinsurgency operations conducted from 2021 to 2023 and collaborative efforts involving the police and other security agencies in the state. Abiodun revealed that the explosives were neutralized on August 22, 2024 at a site located behind Zuma Rock in Suleja under the supervision of SP Muhammad Mamu, the officer in charge of the explosive ordnance disposal, chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear unit of the command. And gunmen have killed one man identified as Garba Yakubu and abducted 2 others in the Dabuke community of Toto local government area of Nasarawa State. The police public relations officer Rahman Nanso, who confirmed the incident, said the gunmen invaded Yakubu's residence on Monday and in the process killed him and abducted 2 others. He noted that upon receiving a distress call about the incident, a police team moved to the scene where the corpse of the victim was recovered and later released to the family based on a request for burial according to Islamic rites. On the abduction of the 2 persons, he said the police commissioner had reinforced the Toto Police Division and launched a search and rescue operation. Also, troops of the Forward Operating Base in Potiskum, Yobe State, have arrested a suspect for smuggling farm machinery and input out of the state. Disclosing this in a statement on Tuesday, the Special Advisor on Security Matters to the Yobe State Governor, Dahiru Abdul Salam, said the items were concealed in a blue-colored 18-seater bus with registration number KTY 449YG along Potiskum Gombe Road in the state. He said the suspect, who hails from Jigawa State, does not have any allocation letter for the items. On interrogation, the suspect revealed that he bought the items from one Alhaji Babaji in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, at the cost of 50,000 naira each. Abdul Salam said the suspect could not provide any proof to show that he was a beneficiary of the Yobe State Agricultural Empowerment Program, where the items are supposedly from. He stated that the suspect and the items had been handed over to the Yobe State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps for further action. And residents of Nainawa community say they have been grappling with the lack of access roads in their neighborhood, which is situated right beside the Gombe GRA. According to the community, they have been accessing Gombe via a footpath for decades, adding that the path has now been washed away by water, denying them access to Gombe, especially during the rainy season. While many residents lamented that political representatives from the area have consistently failed to fulfill the promises of constructing an access road in the area since 1999, urging the current administration to come to their aid. Hassan Koli files the report.
Despite commissioning the newly constructed Abdullahi Umar Ganduja road in the area, residents have been complaining that the road only passes beside their neighborhood, saying it has not addressed the blockage they are experiencing during the rainy season. According to residents, they are left behind in developmental projects, especially roads and primary health care centers. They believe that the government has to construct a wider culvert or bridge to ease their annual sufferings. I was providing medical care in Nainawa, and I bear witness to how people are suffering during medical emergencies when it is raining, because we don't have a medical center here. Water always floods this road that link us to Gombe town whenever it rains, and we must wait for water to dry off before we pass, which is very unfortunate. The government earlier this year commissioned the 9-hour bypass road, which is commendable, but it does not address our concern because it has not provided us with a safe passage during the rainy season. We are appealing to the government to provide us with a bridge to improve our lives.
We have a lot of problems or a lot of things that we need here, but the most important thing is the road. Now, before we go into our community here, we have to pass through where we call it a river, because it's more than a river. We are just lucky because the river doesn't store water. Whenever even it rains up north there, the water will flow through this river, and then we have to wait before we can cross and go home. Now, we're appealing to the government, please come to our aid. There are some things that people who are living in the community have to do for themselves, but this one, I think, actually belongs to the government.
I just finished filling off our footpaths with grasses because whenever it rains, we will not be able to go out or return to our homes for some time. We can simply say we have no road here. Also, whenever there is an emergency, the situation is pathetic. We are paying higher prices compared to other places in Gombe town, and it is due to the lack of road issue. So we are calling on the government to come into our aid. Residents of the community said they are not enjoying the dividend of democracy, but are however optimistic that the current administration will provide them with the developmental project. From Gombe, Hassan Koli reporting for Trust TV.
Well, thanks to Hassan for that report. And moving on now, small business owners in Lagos are worried that surging inflation and low patronage due to the weakened purchasing power of Nigerians are threatening the survival of their businesses. Trust TV's Victoria Tokolo, who spoke to some of them, reports that due to the unfavorable current economic landscape in Nigeria, many small business owners are on the verge of closing their businesses due to the harsh economic realities. Here's the report.
Many small business owners in Nigeria are facing significant challenges, particularly low patronage coupled with the increase in prices of goods and services, which have made customers to reduce their spending. With the cost of living at an all-time high, people are prioritizing basic necessities over discretionary purchases.
The reason why they are not responding, the reason why they are not patronizing well is that the cost of material is too high. Some people now, when you get to the market, you have to go and do another calculation before you get the material. If you get to the market today, tomorrow is another thing entirely. And so I can't afford to buy material at the rate of 4,000, 3,000, which I want to sell 7,000. The customer may not be pleased with it.
We are not really selling, sales are not coming like before. Sales are not coming like before. So people are actually putting their money on food than to make air now. So, and they said the attachment is too costly, so they can't afford to make air. So people go to cut their hair now.
Hairdresser work now, they move well as before again. Why? Because things too cost. Because now when they go buy attachment, they say attachment as big one 6,005, small one is 4,000, sometimes 4,500. So how person go buy attachment? Go buy two, almost 12,000 naira. They will kind of reach salon. They go look the price of the attachment. They charge. They say 6,000, 7,000. So not go like to do the hair. They go.
The situation is further compounded by the increasing cost of rental materials, which is squeezing profit margins for businesses. Provision store owners are also feeling the pinch.
What you buy today is not what you buy tomorrow. Today now you went to market to buy like one carton of Indomie now. You buy one carton 5,000 naira. Tomorrow you will now buy 7,000. Where are we going?
Before we used to buy needle 3,000, 2,500. Now it stands 4 now. Even those spaghetti, all of them stands 4 now. Now we are not more seeing more customer now. Everybody is managing. We are not selling like before. We are just managing. So I beg, make you help us, beg government, make you help us.
The expressions of these small business owners paint a grim picture of Nigeria's current economic landscape. As they struggle to stay afloat, the resilience of Nigeria's small business sector is being tested like never before.
You're watching the news update on Trust Television. Coming up after the break. Nigerian professionals in search of international job opportunities take up foreign languages to boost their capacity. These and other stories when we return. Thanks for staying with the news update on Trust Television. Here's a recap of the stories that made it to the top of the page. Flood displaces over 50,000 across 17 local governments in Jigawa. Police foil terrorist plot, uncover cache of IEDs in multiple locations in Niger State. And moving on now, the leadership of the Labour Party has moved against Abia Governor Alex Otti and others, calling for the convening of the party's National Executive Committee meeting to set up a caretaker committee. Recall that Governor Otti had recently met with the national chairman of the party, Julius Abure, where he tendered his intent to convene a NEC meeting on Saturday, August 30th. The party's current leadership had expired long ago, but the National Working Committee, NWC, of the party, in a meeting convened by Abure on Tuesday, countered the move, stating that there is no vacuum in the leadership of the party. The party, while insisting there is no leadership crisis, announced the establishment of a disciplinary committee to be charged by Kehinde Edun, its national legal advisor.
11. Apart from the fact that the Federal High Court in Abuja has already validated the National Convention held in March, there are other persons who have equally challenged the convention of the party, and these cases are as follows. The lists are here and you can see them. It is therefore trite in our laws that once cases are pending in court, parties are to maintain status quo ante in order not to destroy the rest. In this case, INEC is expected to maintain the status quo ante in order not to destroy the rest of the party. INEC is expected not to descend into the arena of conflict, but to continue with its neutrality and work cordially with the recognized leadership of the party until the courts state otherwise.
And amid the ongoing economic challenges in Nigeria, many are turning to foreign languages as a gateway to job opportunities abroad. Medical workers are among those learning new languages, aiming to secure positions in Europe and other developed nations. In this report, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail visits a group of Nigerian medical workers studying German in the pursuit of greener pastures. Here's his report.
In today's interconnected world, knowing a second language is a valuable skill that broadens an individual's ability to communicate and connect globally. For career advancement and better opportunities, these Nigerians, including medical workers, are dedicating their time to learning German.
I've been here in Korea Academy to learn German in order to go to Germany to study for either whatever you can study. Either we are going to study nursing as a BSc, we are going to get an occupy a nursing BSc in Germany. So before going there, you have to at least learn how you can go to market and buy all these things, and then how you can greet in German. So that is why we are here.
The reason why nurses and doctors are going out is because of the salary. Here in Nigeria, the salary is too scanty, while there in abroad, the salary is huge. So that is the main reason for Nigerian nurses and the other medical practitioners are running away and going for there. I hate to say that Nigeria government has sat down, consider nurses, medical doctors, and all other health practitioners increase their salary. So I think none of us will even have mind to go there. We prefer to stay here and help our people.
In today's globalized economy, connections have become more vital than ever. With the increasing demand for job placements abroad, foreign language tutors in Nigeria are now tailoring their lessons to meet the needs of various professionals, including medical workers, by focusing on specialized vocabularies that enhance their prospects for overseas opportunities.
It's a general German we are learning right now for the beginning. Yeah, greeting, presentation, how to converse, how to conjugate, how to make sentences. This is what we are doing right now.
How would that help?
You are going to discover hospital vocabularies. So that is it. And this German, as I'm trying to explain to you, is going to help them to work in the domain.
Due to the current economic challenges in the country, Nigerian professionals, including medical doctors, are increasingly exiting the country in search of better opportunities and professional growth. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And there you have it, young Nigerian professionals doing whatever it takes to ensure they search greener pastures outside Nigeria. Moving on now to the international scene. Armed separatist rebels in Mali on Tuesday on an army drone strike had killed 7 of their members in the north of the country, an area rocked by violent unrest. The Monday strike targeted 2 of the separatist vehicles, according to a statement published on Tuesday by the mainly Tuareg-led separatist coalition, CSP-DPA. The Malian army had said it destroyed 2 vehicles loaded with war material belonging to armed terrorist groups around 80 kilometers north of the town of Anifis on Monday. Drone strikes on Sunday in Tizaoutian near the Algerian border killed around 20 civilians, including several children, according to separatist rebels, a local elected representative, and an official from a local NGO. The army said it had destroyed terrorist targets and killed around 20 armed individuals during the operation. Since seizing power in a 2020 coup, Mali's military leaders have made it a priority to retake all of the country from forces linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group. Mali's offensive in the north has given rise to numerous allegations of abuses committed against civilians by the army and its Russian allies since 2022, which the Malian authorities deny. And in sports, former international Sam Soje says it is important for the Nigerian Football Federation to appoint capable assistants for newly appointed Super Eagles head coach Bruno Labbadia to make his reign a success. The NFF announced Labbadia's appointment on Tuesday morning. The German will be managing in Africa for the first time and will also be making a dive into international football for the first time. Soje tasked the NFF to employ capable local coaches to support the 58-year-old. Labbadia is expected to take charge of the Super Eagles in the upcoming 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against Benin Republic and Rwanda. And that wraps up the news update of this hour. Do not forget to follow us across all of our social platforms and catch our live stream on YouTube for more news programs and documentaries. My name is Sagir Ibrahim. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.